Yo, man, what's good, YouTube? Man, it's your boy McKenna, aka Mr. Napier Bar, man. Today we got something new. Just trying something new, you know what I'm saying? See what YouTube recommends to people on YouTube and all that. But today, man, we got how Elly Cruz took over saying baseball out of nowhere. So I haven't really react to baseball like type of videos really on my channel, but I like sports. It's pretty much a sports channel and other stuff too. So yeah, we're gonna right to it. You know what I'm saying? Let's try to share whoever sees the video. You know what's up, man? Let's go.
Elly Cruz is one of the most exciting rookies that baseball has ever seen.
This kid can do it all. He can run, he can hit for power, he's got great hands.
A 6'5" shortstop who's also the fastest guy in all of baseball.
In just the first couple months of his career, he shattered MLB records on both sides of the field and single-handedly reignited the Reds season.
He's going home! The throw! He's still home!
With the power to hit 500-foot home runs while also having the fastest sprint speed in baseball, Elly Cruz is an absolute phenom. However, just a few years ago, he was basically unknown and on the verge of quitting baseball forever. And despite his amazing start,
I mean, yeah, because in baseball, like once you get drafted, you don't really play for the team. You got to go to like the minors and then work your way up, and then you got to get called up to the team, and then you'll get caught up to the team. But like, I actually did hear this good. But do y'all think he will stay with the Cincinnati Reds? Do y'all think he'll like leave and go to like the Yankees or the Dodgers? Something like that. If he goes to the Dodgers, something like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, who knows, man?
the rest of his first MLB season was pretty underwhelming. So to really understand his story, we have to go back to where it all started in the first place.
2002? That's crazy.
He was born in the Dominican Republic in 2002, starting his baseball journey at a very young age. And when he was just 6 years old, he moved away from his family to start playing at the lowest level. But after only a few years, it became evident that Cruz needed
that makes sense. We gotta understand that Dominican Republic makes some good baseball players. Literally, they make some incredible baseball players. Who you got? You got Juan Soda? Like, come on now, what?
Bigger challenge. So when he was 10 years old, he took his talent to the much bigger city of Santo Domingo. It was here that he would begin training at the same baseball academy as
I told you, Juan Soto. I told you, bro. DR, they make some good baseball players. Like, that's what they literally play in DR's baseball.
Soto, and he was finally starting to get some recognition. However, over the next few years, De La Cruz started having some serious doubts about his future. By the time he was 16 years old, many of his peers had already begun signing major league contracts, but for Cruz, this was not the case. Several scouts agreed that he was too skinny and not strong like the others, so he wasn't really on the radar. So at this point, De La Cruz was starting to realize that his time was running out, and he now says that I was really close to giving everything up and going back home. However, what he didn't know was that he was about to receive the biggest opportunity of his entire life. In 2018, several MLB scouts came to a showcase in Santo Domingo to watch some of the best players in the academy. And while De La Cruz was not in this group, he was still placed in the showcase to make other players look better. However, after watching him play, one of these scouts decided to give him a chance. And only a day later, De La Cruz ended up signing with the Reds for just $65,000, which is not much, but he didn't really care. He had been waiting for this moment his entire life.
Oh, so he signed with the Reds early. Oh, okay. So he signed with them early. That's why. Okay, so he signed with them early. I did not know that.
And the real journey had only just begun.
But then when they signed early, they just put him in like the minor leagues, and then then worked their way up.
In the summer of 2019, De La Cruz made his professional debut in the Dominican Summer League when he was 17 years old. And after his first 43 games, he posted a .733 OPS with only one home run. Now, obviously, this is pretty unimpressive on its own, but it gets even worse when you consider that he struck out 45 times with only 14 walks. He was considered to be an average player at best, and once again, his mind was filled with nothing but doubt. So after the next season was cancelled due to the pandemic, he knew that he only had one more chance to prove himself. At the beginning of the 2021 season, De La Cruz had become an entirely different player compared to 2019. After working with a personal trainer and growing an additional 5 inches, De La Cruz was now 6'5" and no longer the skinny kid that he was previously known to be. So when he was promoted to
a lot of people are skinny, but people need to, like, people realize, like, sometimes it's kind of, when you're skinny, it's kind of really hard to really, like, get stronger just because your body's not used to it. So it's like you gotta, like, force your body to do that. You know what I'm saying? But it seemed like he was good though, for real. Like, what am I talking about? I'm saying usually, like, bro, the DR usually like creates and makes like good baseball players. It's just some players take a little while to, you know what I'm saying? But now you got Juan Soto and you got him. Like, come on now.
The Arizona Complex League at the beginning of the season, he was described by coaches as a man among boys. Over the course of 11 games, he put up the best numbers of his entire life, hitting 400 with 3 home runs and an OPS over 1200. Not to mention, he was suddenly throwing over 95 miles an hour across the infield. So it finally seemed like everything was coming together for De La Cruz, and one scout said that we've got to get him out of here. He's ready. Over the next couple seasons, De La Cruz continued making his way up through the Reds system, putting up solid numbers at every level. And during a game in AA, he managed to hit a 512-foot home run, which is still one of the longest home runs in the history of StatCast. However, it wasn't until he made it to AAA that he really started showing off what he could do. At the start of 2023, De La Cruz displayed a massive improvement in his approach at the plate, cutting down on strikeouts and walking at a much higher rate. As a result, De La Cruz had suddenly become the Reds' #1 prospect in their entire system. So, as you could imagine, the
see now, and then now he's one of the best players, well, the best player on the team on the Cincinnati Reds.
Anticipation for his MLB debut was extremely high. However, nobody really expected the massive impact that he was about to have on the game of baseball itself. On June 6th of 2023, Elly De La Cruz made his MLB debut at third base, receiving a standing ovation from the entire stadium in his first at-bat.
Okay.
He came on the field in pregame. Fans were standing and cheering. There was a loud roar well before first pitch.
See? Why? Because now, there's always one franchise player that can turn a shitty franchise into one of the best franchise, how Curry did with the Warriors. You know what I'm saying? Now, he could be possibly change the Cincinnati Reds and make them compete for a World Series and even in the playoffs.
His first at-bat resulted in a walk, but only 2 innings later, his first hit left his bat at 112 miles an hour.
Smash to right center. First big league hit, and here he goes. Lightning speed. De La Cruz up to second. A stand-up double.
Which, believe it or not, was the hardest hit ball by any player on the Reds at that point in the season. However, this record didn't last long, as only a day later he would hit a 458-foot home run that came off the bat at 114.8 miles an hour. So after only 2 games, De La Cruz was already making a name for himself across the league. But surprisingly, this was only the beginning of one of the most exciting starts to a rookie season in history. One of the major highlights of
this boy that's crazy, bro. Trying to tell you, I don't really watch baseball that much, but sometimes when I watch, I probably watch when the playoffs come. Once the playoffs come around, then I'm probably watching baseball.
June 23rd, when he became the youngest player in over 50 years to hit for the cycle. And not to mention, his triple was MLB's fastest home to third time of the season at 10.83 seconds. After that game, Joey Votto said that just watching him move is different. There's almost nobody I've ever seen that moves like him at that height. He calls himself the fastest man in the world, and he's currently ranked first in sprint speed in all of baseball at 30.6 feet per second.
That's true. At 6'5", are you that fast? Probably not the fastest man in the world, but probably in baseball, yeah.
No surprise that on July 8th, De La Cruz became the second player in history to steal second, third, and home in the span of just 3 pitches. Now, at this point, De La Cruz was finally getting the attention that he deserved. And after only his second week in the majors, he was awarded Player of the Week for the National League, hitting .440 with 2 home runs and 6 extra base hits. So, as you can tell, he's pretty good at breaking records. But the thing that makes it really impressive is that he's doing it on both sides of the field. In a game against the Brewers on July 16th, De La Cruz made a throw from third base that came out of his hand at 97.9 miles.
Oh my gosh. You never know. He could be a pitcher for them too. Did that come out 95? Yeah, that's
an hour. And of course,
insane.
this became the hardest infield throw in MLB history. But once again, this record didn't last long, because only a few days later, he released a 99.8 mile an hour throw that saved a run. Overall, De La Cruz became the first player in MLB history with 40 hits and 15 stolen bases in their first 30 games. And during that time, he hit .328 with 4 home runs and 16 RBIs. So as you can tell, this guy is pretty good at baseball, but really, he's done much more for the game than just breaking records. In 2022, the Reds had one of the worst seasons in franchise history, and at first, it seemed like 2023 was gonna be more of the same. However, despite minimal changes to the roster, they're
I'm trying to tell you, it only takes one franchise player to turn that around.
currently on pace for a winning record, and it seems to be a direct result of Elly De La Cruz. After he made his debut, the Reds suddenly won 15 of their next 20 games, including a 12-game win streak that tied their franchise record. And unsurprisingly, Reds fans immediately took notice. Before De La Cruz joined the team, Great American Ballpark saw an average of 19,000 fans in attendance per game in 2023.
See, I'm trying to. It's the same thing with the Baltimore Orioles. Same thing with them. Nobody will return them games. So once the team start getting good, that's when they start attending. You know what I'm saying? Once send them with the Reds. You know what I'm saying? Once you're saying all you need is that one franchise player, and then bro, you're going to.
However,
You know what I'm
in the
saying?
12 games following his debut, that number suddenly jumped up to over 30,000 fans per game. So, despite only being a rookie, De La Cruz has reignited an entire team and their fan base, and it's pretty easy to understand why. Whether he's at the plate, on the bases, or on the field, he's always gonna be fun to watch. Now, admittedly, De La Cruz's rookie season did not end on a positive note. However, it's important to remember that he's still only 21 years old, and he
is
still has
true.
an extremely bright future. But for now, it's safe to say that Elly De La Cruz is one of the most exciting rookies in history, and players like him are exactly what baseball needs going forward.
That's facts. And hey, look, man, that's a video of how, Elly De La Cruz talking about baseball out of nowhere. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, man. You know what's up, man. 1 to 2,000 subs, man. I'll see you guys into the next video, man. You know what's up. Let's go. Let's run it. Yeah.